So, welcome to the first episode of Out of the Van. This is a podcast coming to you from Cape Town, South Africa, where we're going to show you the ins and outs of what's happening in the bush amongst all sports and, yeah, just the general lifestyle that we live and just the great things about our city. So, yeah, my first guest today on the first episode, is Matt Maxwell, local shredder,
What's up?
straight out of Sunset Beach.
Straight out of the local.
So yeah, man. Through your go-to summer, I mean, what have you been up to, like, regards to kiting and uni and everything? I don't know. Lately, I've seen you more on the water than behind the desk.
Been a good summer. Like I've had a lot of time on the water, but recently, like as we go into winter, normally like I try to focus a bit more on my work and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, the summer was very sick. Like before you got injured and stuff, we had lots of sessions on the water. Mainly like Dolphin Beach kind of thing, like just same place every day, which
Yeah.
is a bit boring, but like it
But
is
sometimes
just
you
really
score it.
good,
I remember
like,
that
yeah.
session we had when, I don't know what happened to you, but I think your kite flipped or something, and then you fixed your lines up, and then you came back, and the sunset was just insane, and it was literally just you and me,
Yeah, no.
and that was probably like my last kite for a while, and it was just like insane, like waves, backhand was on.
Your
little-
backhand was
little
on.
sh-
I'm still working on my backhand. Bro. Been
Yeah.
trying to ride switch for like 5 years.
Yeah, but I mean, it was insane. It was
Yeah.
just,
No, that was definitely a special one. I think.
yeah, especially with
Like
the
I mean,
sunset.
I still remember it, and I've had lots of sessions since then. Like you that was your last session because you got injured, but like that was
Yeah.
actually a banger.
Yeah, it
for sure.
was. It was weird though. Everyone, the weather was like northwester weather and winter vibes, but it was pumping southeast, and it was just cooking. Like, all the boys are out as well, like Yannick and Robbie
Yeah,
James.
those were doing
and
bigger, though.
all those,
We were on
those
the
Lannies.
surfboards.
Yeah, I mean, what is bigger these days?
I mean,
Bunch of circus tricks.
basically, bro.
With the scary winds that have been hitting Cape Town these days and the big swell, surely there've been some crazy moments where you felt pretty scared and.
Scary wins, like
Lots
gusty wins.
Oh yeah, Bruce. I mean,
Yeah. No,
Sunset
Cape Town gets pretty weird.
Sunset Beach, where both of us live, is pretty gusty. I mean,
No, it is true. I mean, I had a pretty sketchy incident the other day. I think it was like probably 2 or 3 weeks ago. But yeah, like I did a loop. I was riding strapless, which is quite like you don't often hear of like strapless in like sketchy moments and stuff. Normally
Yeah.
it's like boots and stuff that cause all the problems. But yeah, I did a strapless loop, and then the wind was super gusty. So like as I came down, my kite just like slacked, and my lines went like super loose, super slack, and then my lines wrapped around my safety and my like chicken, what's it called? No, like your harness hook.
yeah,
So then like I was like underwater. My kite went into like a death loop, I think, because the outside line wrapped around the harness hook as well. It was like looping, pulling me underwater, and I was literally like, yeah, I was getting pretty intense. And then I tried to eject, obviously, because there's nothing else really to do. That was like my first instinct to eject, but then like the lines were like stuck on the eject as well. So then I reached for I first tried to like control it just with the other steering line, but it was just death looping. And eventually I was like, yo, I can't breathe actually. Like it was getting pretty bad.
yeah. And
And
like
then-
at this time, you're always just like sucking in water, and you're just
Yeah,
like,
no.
what do you even do?
And dude, I was even like waving at guys, like waving at Oaks, like as I was going past, like as I was coming in and out of the water, I was like waving, but Oaks were just like turning around. They didn't really want to get involved. And then I reached for my kite knife, and then for some reason the knife wasn't there, so it was pretty sketchy. Like I think the knife must have just like fallen out because they normally just use some Velcro. They don't
Yeah.
use like a neoprene leash or whatever. And then eventually, like I literally just gave up. Like it was so intense. I was like, no, I'm gonna die. And then luckily, like my kite looped into a wave. It was quite a big swell, which was just fortunate. But like, the wave literally saved me. So I was super lucky. And then the kite washed in. I could finally eject because the kite lines went slack and stuff. And I went like straight away the next day to like buy a new knife and like. So quite a kooky looking thing, but like I went straight away to go and attach
Yeah,
it.
I
To
mean,
the,
rather
to the
save your
harness.
life
Yeah.
than
No,
look like a
100%.
kook.
But that was pretty sketchy. Like it's a bit of a wake-up
Yeah,
call.
I mean, you think about everything again, and you're just like, yo, I should probably be more careful. Everyone's like skateboarding. I mean, everyone's like, no helmet, no knee guards, but it's like, you can land once on your head and be concussed or
Or like brain damage.
yeah, like brain damage.
Like
but
change
it's like
for life. Kind
yeah,
of thing.
change your life, but rather just rock a helmet for a day and.
Well, I mean, if you're doing hectic, I mean, it'd be pretty kooky to wear a helmet for like street stuff kind of thing.
Yeah, but imagine you doing
But-
like 12 stairs or
Yeah.
I don't know, like Jaws and stuff.
Yeah, we wear like something from like Sportsman's Warehouse.
Like a little goth helmet.
Like a goth. T2, bro. Shout out to T2.
Yeah, the Oaks at Pipe are starting to rock helmets now as well.
Yeah, I checked Cole Smith was wearing a Gath helmet.
Yeah, he's got the
fine.
one with the fin on as well.
That's
It's
sick.
just, it's a bit much.
Extra aerodynamic.
Yeah, he's definitely getting spat out premature.
Just That's so funny.
But yeah, I mean, Cape Town this season's been kind of weird though with the whole COVID scenario. I mean, last season to this season's been so strange with like going out and partying and just seeing the boys and thinking about what people you can see and people you can't see. So I mean, like, what's your take been on it? I mean, like, for me personally, I haven't tried to think that much about it, but definitely it's in the back of my mind when I'm doing something and taking into consideration, especially when going out.
What, the whole COVID thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had COVID in December, so like I saw how hectic it can get.
Yeah.
But like because of that, I've been a bit more chilled because like I've got have had antibodies for like I think it's like 3 months you have them. But now that those antibodies, I mean, I'm not a doctor. I don't know how this stuff works exactly, but I mean, 3 months ago, or 3 months time from that, I mean, those antibodies have kind of worn off now. So I'm definitely becoming a bit more aware of it. And I mean, yeah, your parents had COVID.
Yeah,
now,
they
and
just I mean, it's
quite rough.
weird when you start to think like your family members having it. I mean, you've had it. It's like, and obviously you don't see them. Like I go and like drop like food off for them, and like now they're pretty chilled. Like they're past it, but it's so weird to think about them having it. And I mean, like season comes and all the foreigners come, all your homies from overseas come over, and then you want to start going out and like enjoying your summer. Like this is the best part of the year in Cape Town. Like this is where people travel to, like from all ends of the world just to come for our summer. Like it's the best. And now that COVID hits, then it kind of stops everyone in their tracks, and you have to second guess everything you do. And yeah, it's just a strange situation everyone's been put in.
Yeah, it's kind of like that whole like sympathy versus empathy thing. Kind of.
Yeah.
It's almost like you only really care. I mean, it's not really to say you didn't care before, but like when it happens to someone in your own family, like it becomes pretty real, and like you do start to stress.
Kind of wakes you up.
Yeah, it's a wake up call. So like, normally before, if you hear of like a young friend, you don't really think twice about it. It's like, yeah, I mean, one of our mates gets it, like he'll be fine. Like he's not like at risk. Whereas like your parents is like it's another whole story.
Yeah, it's another whole story. Now that we're heading into winter, what's your plans for the off season? I mean, we can't travel now, and I mean, but I'm sure both of us would love to do a lot of traveling, heading over to Europe and getting into their summer. But I mean, now that it's winter, I know the Northwester sessions are pretty good for the front side riding, and I personally love it. And yeah, what are your plans for the winter vibes?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be weird not having you there because you like your winter sessions, and normally, like, you're the first guy I call up about that. But, like, yeah, it's going to be interesting. I know, like, I do have a lot of sessions with my dad. He loves the winter sessions.
Big Wave Dave.
Big Wave Dave. But normally, most of our other mates are goofy, so they don't really froth for the winter sessions. They actually dig
it's their time now to work on the backhand attack.
The backhand attack. But, yeah, like, backhand in winter is pretty tough because like you only get like every now and then a winter session, whereas like summer you can practice your switch riding all summer long kind of thing. So yeah, like Dill and stuff, I don't know if you really frost for a Northwester session because that's like,
I mean, the last Northwester session he had, he was getting there. I mean, it definitely started off a bit wonky. It was just like kind of lost.
No, it's very new. Like,
at the end of the session, he definitely had like one or two good hucks. I think he even got a few on the GoPro. It was
a little reel of it, bro.
I think so. I think we did. I'm not too sure.
That's sick. And Jet and those.
Yeah, all the boys were out. I mean, for the Northwester sessions, like my go-to spots are like pretty much like corners or
Yeah, corners is sick.
Or
You
like
got some good footage there with
yeah,
in your out in winter thing.
yeah. I mean, most of the out and winter stuff was pretty much Markbos, like Main Beach, Tube Wave, but that was mainly like some freestyle and like any of the wave stuff. The wave stuff was actually at Big Bay.
Really?
Yeah,
That's wild.
but that was like some afternoon we just decided to go there, and it just happened to work at like just below Small Bay.
Mm.
So yeah, I mean, now that summer's coming to an end, surely there's been some videos that you've been working on and some projects.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I haven't really worked on any videos before, like besides for just like Instagram kind of things. But yeah, this summer's been pretty sick. F1 and Monera kind of. Well, I mean, we approached them, but they were very stoked on the idea of doing sort of like a quite a personal video, like explaining like who I am and that kind of stuff. Just because like I don't really compete and stuff, so it was kind of like a
Yeah.
you know what I mean. So yeah, we've been doing like a pretty cool video for like the past couple months. It's taken quite a while to film because of COVID and all that. Like we haven't really been able to travel or just get up the coast and all of that because there was so many lockdowns and like beach regulations and stuff. But yeah, it's finally coming together now, and like we're pretty keen to release it. I mean, it's quite a personal video. I mean, it's is pretty much just about me, but I mean, everyone's got to have something like that.
Yeah,
every
like
now and then.
when you say just about you, you mean like what? If I watch the video, am I gonna be like at the end of it? I'm like, okay, this is Matt Maxwell, or am I gonna be like, okay, this is what he's about? Like, am I gonna see what your favorite foods are, or am I gonna be like, oh, where he does many different things?
No, yeah. So it's more about like yeah, the different sports and stuff that I do, kind of thing. It's weird talking about it in like the first person or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of just like a whole mashup
I mean,
of all the
yeah,
different
like
stuff that I like
being
to
as
do.
a friend, I know like everything you do, but I mean, as an outsider, what sports would I be seeing? Like, are you just gonna be kiting, or are you gonna be doing like I don't know, like football or
Yeah, a bit of
which
football.
like I don't know, like if
No, so it's gonna be yeah. It's just pretty much like all the different water sports that I like to do, mainly in Cape Town. Like
yeah,
the whole video is pretty much based in Cape
because
Town.
Cape Town offers so many different
Exactly, yeah.
sports, it
So
offers everything.
yeah, it's kind of the videos. I mean, it is about me, but it's also about like how Cape Town has shaped me. Like how Cape Town's conditions are just insane for so many different things, and like
Yeah,
there's a bit of is kiting, but like lots of different disciplines of kiting, like a bit of freestyle, bit of twin tip.
freestyle. You mean like
Strapless freestyle, bit of twin tip freestyle, bit of big air, bit of strapless big air, bit of wave riding, like all those kinds of things. And there's also a bit of like wing foiling, all these new things, bit of surf foiling, some stand up paddling, like a bit of surfing, just a bit of everything. And
It's
like
so sick that like we live in a place where you can do all this here. It's not like
100%,
you
sure.
can do one sport or
Yeah, and
one
I mean,
thing.
yeah, no, I've been very lucky. I mean, you've also grown up here, but I mean, your focus has been more like freestyle.
Yeah, I'm starting to branch out a bit more, but
Yeah.
I mean, definitely gonna start pushing. Like I don't know, like now that I'm injured,
Yeah.
definitely wanna pick up the wing and give it a go and
And
learn
I mean, you've
that.
been getting pretty into the waves, like
Yeah,
you've
I
been having
mean,
some
like
sick
yeah,
sessions recently.
like every time I get on the waves and stuff, it's like every session is fun and there's a smile. Like everyone's froth. What are some of the spots that you guys went to?
Yeah, so yeah, we did film a bit in like our home spots, like
Yeah, that
not like
just
Dolphin
just
Beaches, like our
shows
local.
your local spots.
Yeah, but we did film like a bit at like Hagkat, like all those wave spots, probably like 20 minutes from here, like where we stay. But then we also missioned like up the west coast. We tried our best to like try and score like famous last words and all those spots, but like it didn't really work out. It was like kind of slightly off, but like and that's kind of where the name came from as well. It's like everything we were doing just didn't really work out.
Yeah,
But like we ended up having some pretty sick like surf sessions and stuff up the west coast. But then most of our kiting was filmed like east coast,
Yeah.
Witsunds.
Yeah,
We went up to
Witsunds
Vic Bay.
insane.
It was sick, but we didn't really score anything.
Vic Bay was more of just like a breather from the trip.
Yeah, it was like a nice little like chance to catch your breath.
Yeah.
But also just like a sick camping. I mean, most of the camping stuff that we filmed was actually from Vic Bay, even though we didn't really kite there or surf there. And then we kind of spent quite a bit of time near Nick's spot in Nurduk. We tried to score Scarborough like lots of times. It didn't work out.
Yeah.
But I mean, we got used to the hook. Like, caught a couple waves there, got smashed. Like, it was pretty
Yeah,
sick.
almost got eaten by a few Johnnies.
Yeah, there's a couple sharks around. Like literally like our second session, we saw Finn there.
Yeah.
It's pretty sketchy. But yeah, Cape Town's pretty unpredictable.
I mean, Witstrand, I mean, that's also quite sharky, but you never think that when you're in in a lagoon kind of setting. But
yeah.
I'm sure there must have been a few times when there were a few.
Yeah, I mean,
few
I've
shadows.
seen a couple of shadows there before, but like,
Yeah.
you're never really sure if it's just like your own shadow, because I mean the
Yeah.
sun changes.
I mean, what like for you? What is Witstrand like in a few sentences? Like, what is Witstrand? Because I mean, not many people mission out there because it is quite a far drive and not many people know the conditions there.
So the spot's pretty sick because like it's just super secluded. Like I think how far up do you think it is from sea level?
I don't know, but I mean, if you're at
That
the park,
car park, I mean.
the car park is, I don't know, maybe if there's a kite at 12, then you're probably about kite level, so maybe 20, 30
Maybe
meters.
like 5 meters higher than kite level kind of thing. So it's like 25, 20,
Yeah.
29, 30
Yeah,
meters.
you're probably like 35 meters above.
Yeah, so it's pretty sick because like you park so high above like the actual lagoon, and then there's all these like there's like this whole like forest that kind of surrounds the
Yeah,
the
but
launch zone.
that walk down is insane.
Yeah, no, that kills you.
Because you're like, oh yeah, chill, I'll go down, I'll take my 9 and 11, and then you go down there and you need a 13, and because you don't really feel the wind up at the car park, and then
You can't judge it all from the car park.
you kind of need to know the spot well enough to know how much the trees move, and then you have to just look at what kites are down there, and then
Or you check the white caps on the sea kind of thing. 'Cause you
yeah,
can also
yeah,
see
yeah,
the sea,
yeah, that's
which
also a
helps lot.
pretty good ratio.
But normally we just kind of like eyeball. Normally there's someone out already, and then you just check their size. But like when we went, it was like COVID time, so it's literally like normally just us on the water, and I think that really did help the footage. Besides for like when Nick was riding in the back, like trying back mobs, like in the shot, like the whole time. Shout out to Nick.
he got that back.
He
mob
got the
though.
back mob at
Yeah.
the end there, bro.
Yeah, he stuck it. It was clean.
But yeah, like it's a pretty unique spot. Because you do feel like
I mean, yeah.
even during lockdown,
Yeah.
like we almost felt like, I mean, we weren't trying to like break the rules or whatever, but like we needed to film, and like that felt like the only spot we could really film because you almost feel like no one can really see you.
Like I remember you missioned up there like a week before me and everyone, and you were filming, and well, not filming, you just kind of went there.
Yeah, we went.
And then you're like, yo, bro, I'm scoring sessions every single day. And then I came up and it was just like, there's actually like no one cares up here because like what does kite surfing actually do to COVID? Like you're by yourself. You at least have a 24-meter radius around yourself the whole time.
Literally,
like no one's really close to you, and yeah, you're just doing your own thing. And it didn't really make sense to the kite surfing community in terms of like rules and regulations for COVID.
Yeah.
But I mean, how did Witstrand compare to Cape Town in terms of the video? Like, what made the variation so special to you?
Well, I mean, it's literally just like it's butter flat and like.
We don't really have that many spots butter flat in Cape Town.
Yeah, Cape Town's like.
Besides the few secret spots, but we're not gonna name them.
We don't name those.
What is that?
But Cape Town's actually quite a rough. Like people think, well, I mean, people speak of Cape Town as like the kiting capital of the world kind of thing. Besides for Brazil, but actually Cape Town is like pretty intense, and like Cape Town it's so rough most of the time.
Yeah.
And especially for like what you're interested in, like freestyle, it's probably one of the worst places in the world for freestyle.
But I mean, if you can do freestyle in Cape Town, you can do it anywhere. You can do freestyle anywhere.
100%. So I mean, it has like shaped our riders, like the guys that come out of Cape Town. I mean, they can pretty much kite anywhere in the world, which is pretty sick. But it is, I mean, like Cape Town is a pretty gnarly spot. Like, I think people underestimate that, and I think like in the years to come, we will see a lot more like kite mares, like I explained just now, and that kind of stuff. And yeah, I mean, but I mean, we're still pretty lucky to live here. I mean, it's got pretty much everything we want.
So now that the story's coming to an end, everyone's gotten to know Matt Maxwell and
A little bit of Mad Max.
a little bit gotten to know the slightly off parts and the on parts and the off parts and everything. So yeah,
Mostly off parts.
mostly off. But yeah, thanks for being a part of the first episode, and I'm pretty keen to have you back on the show. And yeah, appreciate everything, being my homie and being in the bush with me and showing Cape Town your scene. And yeah, thanks for being a part of it, bro.